I have to take a couple of deep breaths because that fight that we just saw was absolutely ridiculous. I am jacked up. I am wide awake. I am fired up. And we have a new UFC light heavyweight champion, Jiri Prochazka, who submits Glover Teixeira in the 5th round, was less than a minute away from losing the fight because he was going to lose 4 rounds to 1, Casey.
Was he? Is that the scorecards 4-1? He was down. I don't know.
One judge had it tied, and 2 other judges had it 3-1 for Glover.
Okay, I had no. I was screaming so much. I stopped keeping score. Oh, dude, I love mixed martial arts. Some nights it gets me. It sucks me back in. And tonight was one of those nights. On a throwaway pay-per-view that Dana White was rather spend playing like board games with his son. He could have been there cage side, but we got to witness it. Ugh! How awesome was that? Wow. It was just. I don't have words. It was just one of the best pay-per-view cards in a very long time. Oh Jesus. Sorry. Wax poetic, Mr. Heck. While we wait for this post press conference to start, and I'll put your comments in, and I'll throw them on the board.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about. I can't wait for the post show as well because you just want to stay up for the next 5 hours and just talk about what we just watched because that fight was absolutely ridiculous. Glover Teixeira, 27 seconds left. Glover Teixeira is winning the fight. He's winning round 5. He has Jiri badly hurt. He jumps a ghillie. Oh, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, but, dude, I must have jumped up and down. I wish this is one of those fights where I wish we had cameras on all of our fans, all the media, because it was just one of those times I was just like, I was just a fan. I was just like coming into this, I was like, Yuri's gonna destroy Glover. I know you were like, Glover's gonna win this in the first round, and it was everything and more.
You
almost did. But this fight was everything. What did this fight not have? I mean, it had everything. Freaking everything. Know. It had technical, it had sloppiness, it had blood, it had just heart, it had multiple momentum swings within the same round, within the same minute, within the same exchange. It had giant cuts. It had it was just I did not expect this fight to be this great. I don't think any of us did.
It was so compelling. It was so compelling on paper that I couldn't wait to see it. But there's no way that anyone expected this to go to the championship rounds. No freaking way. And these two were like half donezo after the second round. They're both gassed and tired and both kept going. And it just seemed like Glover was going to get knocked out. And then he would turn the tide, opens that big cut, steals the second round, steals round 2. To open the door after the first round, Casey shoots me a message on our Slack channel and is like, okay, here we go.
Round 2,
Jiri. Round 2. And Yuri's lighting him up, and then Glover turns him over, mounts him, opens up that big cut, steals the round on 2 of the judges' scorecards. Man, that was crazy. What a fight. I don't know if this tops Jones Gustafsson 1. I have to go back and watch that fight again, but this is in the conversation for sure, is it not?
Oh, yeah, it has to be. It has to be. It has to be. Especially, yeah. Yeah, it was. I think to me this even tops it because we got to finish. We got 4 minutes and we got. Oh, sorry, I can't even talk. 4 rounds and 4+ minutes of fighting, and we got to finish. And can anyone pick up? What was the prop line on Jiri submitting Glover?
Plus 10,000 in the 5th round. It was plus 10,000 in the 5th round.
Are there 4? Oh my god.
Yeah, it was plus 10,000. So we're not going to hear from Dana White because, as Casey said, he is not there. So unless they zoom him in somehow, he will not be speaking. But from what I'm told, coming up first will be the now retired Joanna Jedrzejczyk following her second round knockout loss to Zhang Weili, and I believe she's coming up
Here
right
she is
now.
right
Let's
now.
hear from one of the all-time greats.
Oops.
That's me. You don't want to hear from me.
Well, Joanna, first of all, congratulations on an absolutely fantastic and legendary career. I'm just wondering, physically, how are you feeling after that fight?
I feel good. Bells still ringing in my head, and yeah, good, not bad. A few bruises. I got hit to the back of the head, and I have like a big bruise, but all good, man.
It's obviously been a little bit since the fight ended. Have you had time to reflect in what went wrong and
No,
what
I
went
was
right?
like, I just saw I just felt, or I saw, like getting closer to the mat, and I really heard like bells ringing in my head, and I didn't know what happened that time, and I knew I was chaotic, and I was like, okay, it's all over. Don't hurry because you're gonna fall. So it was good, in the middle of the road before I hit the octagon, I was like sober already. So that's good.
She
She catch me
obviously
good.
she came in with a pretty wrestling heavy attack before that. Is that how you the fight you expected from
Oh
her?
yeah, I expected, and of course she has been training with Seyudo, so we expected that. But hey, she was really, really, really strong. More strong than in our first fight. And you know how it is with the ground game. I do lots of jiu-jitsu and I prove that. But you need to take time. You can't make mistakes. There is no room for mistakes. So I was trying to stay calm. Of course, she was landing these elbows and punches, ground and pound, but I was focused on just bringing the fight up. She was switching the position very good. It took a while, but I got back on my feet and finished the first round somehow. And I just got cut. And it's not easy to win fight like this. We all wish for fast chaos. It's the perfect plan before every fight, but it's definitely more difficult to stand up for 3 or 5 rounds. But it is what it is. I got cut, and yeah, it was a good one. She got me.
And then, of course, you announced that you were retiring after the fight. Was this something that you were planning or thinking ahead of time that, say, Whaley did win, or was it just in the moment?
No, no, no. It was just a moment. Of course, I had it in the back of my head. Like maybe there was one day, maybe a year ago. If something happened, I might retire. Because I've been in this business for the last 19 years, and lots of investment from myself. And yeah, it's time to fully enjoy my life. I've approached so much, and honestly, I had no time to sit on it and think about my legacy, how big it is. And I'm a hard worker, and I always dedicate myself, and I give as much as I can, and I get as much as I can in the same way. But now it's time to really fully enjoy it, spend some time with my family. I started traveling since I was 17. I used to live in Thailand, in Holland, and in the States. It's been like more than 6 years from the time I moved to the States. So I've been on the road, and I've been doing this for most of my life. So it's time to really fully enjoy.
And last one for me. What, looking back on your career, what do you hope your legacy is that you're leaving behind in the UFC?
Even with this loss, I just, I've been preparing so hard, and that's the craziest. And I want people to look at the athletes who are winning or losing as an hard workers, and people don't see the preparation. People see only the peak. You win or you lose in this sport, or you learn. But it was hard. Up and downs. It's been a roller coaster, but I want people to know that everything, anything is possible. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what color is your skin, what religion you believe in, what your gender is. You can make it. I'm from small city in Poland. I was dreaming about the trip to the United States when I was a little girl. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw panorama of Manhattan. A few years later, my picture was hanging at Times Square. Before 205 or another events. Dreams are coming true, but we have to work hard and really believe. And I'm proud of myself. Need a few days off, but it's good. Going to Bali after tomorrow, so gonna have some fun. Drink some Kiev Mule, no Moscow Mule anymore. Kiev Mule, and having some Napolitana pizza in an hour. So life is beautiful now.
Joanna right here. Well, congrats on the great career and everything.
Don't be sad.
We're all
We'll
sad.
be talking many times. Come on.
There you go. Well, I
I
guess
will see you around.
that leads me to a good question. How active and involved do you want to stay in the sport going forward? I know you're very supportive of your teammates and your fellow fighters from Poland. How involved do you want to be?
Hey, I for so many years I've been saying that I'm the UFC soldier. I just got message from a hunter. Shit, I love you guys. I love you guys. I wanna go on vacation. And I'm planning to go for the International Fight Week and to London and Paris and be around. I want to be in the future. I want to be the best manager I can be. Uh, Learning from the best. Jennifer Goldstein, my manager, CAA Combat Sport. Dan Lambert, the owner of ATT. So I want to be around, and I just want to be around. Rose, let's get some training. And I want to be around sport, of course. This is who I am. This is what made me. I was born to be the UFC champion, and I took my chance. I got as much, and it's time for the second generation.
And I want to read you a quote from Dana White that he gave to Kevin Iole talking about you. He said, she was such a huge part of the growth of women's MMA, and it was incredible to have her be part of this company. We'll all miss her. What does it mean to you to hear Dana say that about you?
I love them, I love every single person working for the UFC. And so many people don't see this, but we can perform because of them. And I care about every single person, about their families. We lost few, like Sue, but I love all of them. I will miss them so much, but I will see them around. And it's been an honor for me, and I will still UFC soldier forever. I said so many years ago that I was going to retire in the UFC, and it's happening today.
And I don't want to make you, get
It's
think
fine.
too-
It's
too
fine.
much.
The emotions, we have to let it go, So that's good.
And I
In
mean,
an hour, I will be dancing, having pizza, and smiling. Having this Kiev move.
and maybe it's a better question to ask when you've had more time to reflect, but is there a moment that stands out in your career that maybe means the most to you or that you're going to hold closest as you move forward in life?
That there are the time when I was broke, and I had that time I thought I had no option, that I had to quit. There was no money, no options, no possibilities. But limits are only in our heads. And I made a decision that I was going to become a superstar. Uh, and I did that, and I'm proud of myself. When I talk about my dreams from the past, I'm super proud of myself that I made it. And just don't give up, guys. Sometimes I was in this like super crazy and difficult position that I thought that help was not going to come from that there was not going to be any help. But there is always an option. But we need to make this first step. That's the most important. We need to keep on moving. We can slow down, but we can't stop. We need to keep on moving. In our lives. And fully enjoy the road. Fully enjoy the roller coaster.
I'll leave it there for now. Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you.
Over here, just one more question. How good did it feel to get that love from the crowd here in Asia?
Oh, amazing. I'm a Nak Muay Thai fighter, so I spend lots of time in Asia. I used to live in Thailand, so martial arts is big here, and it's good to be back, man. It's good to get this love. I I was not competing because of there was a time that we had no fans at the arenas, and they are my energy. I love you guys, Thank you for the strength and power.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last question, Joanna. Could you just sum up your own career in one word?
Say again.
Could you sum up your own career in one word?
Thanks God. I mean, like, I don't know.
One more in front of you.
Legacy, like legacy, when you read about legacy, it means everything, that you've done big things. So it's legacy, legacy. And I always wanted to be remembered as one of the greatest, and I will. I'm just the girl from the hood, JJ from the hood. And I did a big things, quite big. I have to sit and think about what I have approached, I like, I bought like nice apartment 2 years ago. You know how many times I was there? None. Like maybe I slept there 2 nights. Now I have time to really fully enjoy it, go there, spend some time and sit on it, and then enjoy it. That's beautiful, Guys, everything is possible, Everything and anything is possible.
Just one more. How do you see the fight between Weili and Carla playing out?
Ooh, first round for Weili Zhang, she's so strong. Yeah, first round. She really surprised me with her strength, the ground, because we know she's a striker, but she was very strong on the ground. Very beautiful work, very beautiful work. So it's going to be an interesting fight, but I truly believe that Weili is going to be the champ, becoming the champ, and I feel like Rose is next in line again, So it's the beauty of the sport. It's the beauty of this sport. Guys, thank you. It's been an honor.
Are there any like moments in your career that stand out to you?
What does it mean, stand out? Like, we're good?
Yeah.
Of course, becoming the UFC strawweight champion in 2015, but becoming the UFC fighter. And I made, like, in 2010, I made the decision to join MMA, to make this transition, or 12, I don't know, 10. But then there was a time that I had no fights, no money again, because I was mad at MMA. Like, I was like, I made this decision. They promised me all this money, fights, no money. And I was like, no, I need to quit this shit, And I got like 3 fights, month after month, with my UFC debut. And after that, my life got changed, So it was the best moment. And I remember Lorenzo was the owner that time, and Dana. I love Lorenzo, And that time when they let me shine at my UFC debut, they let me shine. And I did that, I was shining. And I got the title shot right after second fight. And it was probably the best moment in my life and fighting career, So never give up on your dreams, guys. Yeah. Thank you. It's been an honor, guys. Thank you so much. Can I say something? I love my fans. I love you guys. But to the Polish people, dziękuję wam wszystkim za wsparcie. So, tak, dziękuję. Tyle. Dziękuję bardzo. Dziękuję wszystkim.
There she is, Joanna Jedrzejczyk, greatest strawweight of all time. JJ from the hood. I don't think I'll ever call her anything different. So, great stuff. And now she's on to maybe some managerial stuff. She's going to be at International Fight Week, she said. So that'll be cool to see her there. And London, Paris, plans on taking the trip to a lot of cards. So she still plans to be involved in the sport. And good on her. Handled the loss like a true pro. And that's it. She's picking Zhang Weili to beat Carlos Esparza in the first round, and
I think
kind of hard to argue against.
I think we all are. And I'm a big Carla fan. I was really happy for her victory in her last fight, but I've been kind of on the Weili bandwagon for a bit. I thought Weili beat Rose in their last fight. I know it was a close fight. I know Rose got the decision, but I actually thought Weili won, and I do think Weili is the best strawweight in the world right now. And yeah. Good on Carla. I mean, we're not good on Carla, but I mean, she's got a heck of a fight. That's part of being champion. You know, you got to face the best. But before we kind of go back to the craziness in the top 2 fights, man, round 6 though. How awesome was round 6? When like the first round of that fight, that was like, it's like, oh my god, like it's happening again. This is crazy. And then the Joanna, and then Weili did that wrestling and just beat the crap out of Joanna. And then Joanna was still in the fight and got up and was still there. So it was just, man, it makes total sense, Joanna moving on, and I'm bummed for selfish reasons, but because she's clearly still a top tier strawweight, but yeah, she's done this for a long time. I get it.
I can't wait for the next ranking show because things are going to be crazy. That division, light heavyweight's going to be crazy. I cannot wait to see how this all plays out because I already see our Slack channel just going bananas on who should be number 1 and who. It's just wild. So this is going to be, I feel like we're taking an emotional roller coaster ride because we're on this epic high from one of the greatest fights we've ever seen to Joanna just being so emotional and just letting it all out. And I think probably Zhang's next to talk about just the ferocity of her performance. She just, whatever haircut she got here, don't change a thing because no one's beating that woman. That's for damn sure. And then we might as well talk about it. Valentina Shevchenko, still the UFC flyweight champion, Casey. You don't agree with that? You thought the judges got it wrong? One judge agreed with me.
I thought 2 judges got it wrong.
With you.
I thought 1 judge got it right.
Yeah, 1 judge agreed with you. 1 judge agreed with me, and then one judge went 49-46. Like I know people were completely up in arms about that score, but I was even telling AK before that 49-46 Shevchenko would not shock me because that first round, not much happened in the first round. Shevchenko had the moments.
What was it?
I mean, like I think Santos took her back, but
and had her, but she had a deep choke in. It was a deep choke. It wasn't just.
It was
her
a
back.
really deep choke. It was across her face. It wasn't a choke. The choke, the deep choke was
that was a choke.
The deep choke was late in the fight. But anyways, I scored at 48-47 Shevchenko. I still gave Santos the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I gave Shevchenko number 2. I just felt like her damage. I mean, damage is subjective, whatever. But I felt like the takedown did nothing. Shevchenko had all the other moments, in my opinion. 3 was a clear Santos round, clear as day. 1 and 2 were close. 3 was clear. 4 was clear. 5 was clear.
Yeah, it was clear.
For sure. But 1 and 2 were up in the air. The headbutt, man. That changed everything.
It changed everything. It's just so unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. That's all. It's just unfortunate. We just don't know how that fight plays out without the headbutt. But it's just a bummer. It happened. It's just a sport.
That's nobody's fault.
No one's fault. I did have I agree. I had how 1 judge had it. I'm assuming the judge. I didn't look at the scorecards, but I'm assuming 1 judge had rounds 1, 2, and 3 for Santos and 4 and 5 for Valentina. That's how I scored it. But I honestly don't have. Usually I know I'll be like rah rah rah, But I get it. It was a super close fight. The headbutt kind of screwed things up. It's a fight. These things happen. But I think the biggest takeaway, honestly, is much like John Jones when he was dominating the 205 division, but every fight, the competition got closer and closer and closer. And I'm feeling that way of Valentina now. The competition will get closer. These Aaron Blanchfields, Alexa Grassos, I'm forgetting other people too. Feroz, Casey O'Neill's. They're coming, and they're good. And that gap is closing. And that's what makes Valentina so freaking awesome because that she but these 25ers realize, we are a real division, and this is the standard now. Just like people want to crap on Ronda or whatever. But when Ronda came into the 35 division, it kind of showed all the other female fighters like, this is how good we can be. And Ronda was like just so far away, just so much better than all the 35ers. But the gap started closing, and then Ronda happened to Ronda. But I feel that is happening with Val. It's just she's clearly still the best. I get that. I get people think that she won the fight. I'm not gonna. That's not gonna die on that hill. But yeah, Bal's gonna have some tough defensives coming up, and these women are hungry. And for the first time at 25, Valentina looked like a human out there. She wasn't just this machine. She's like, oh, she can lose. Just like when we saw, I guess John Jones maybe against Santos. You know, it was like, oh, John Jones can, or even Gus's and maybe in a sense, yeah, Reyes too, obviously. It's like, oh, these unbeatable fighters can lose, and I think we saw that with Valentina tonight. So it was great. It was great drama for sure.
Yeah, great drama, close fight. It made it much more compelling, obviously. I have to say though, and I say this not taking a damn thing away from Taila Santos, because I thought she had a great game plan. But normally we see Valentina, and she won the 4th and 5th round. I think the headbutt clearly had something to do with it because Taila couldn't open the eye. By the way, the doctor checking her eye was hilarious. Oh, you have an eye? Okay, you could fight. Like that was so funny.
And there was no way that doctor spoke Portuguese. I was like, I don't understand. Yeah, was he just counting the eyes? 1 eye, 2 eyes. All right, we're good. Like, why am I in here? Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that.
But Valentina made a lot of mistakes in this fight. Very uncharacteristic mistakes. Now, the takedown, like, you attempt the first few takedowns. They don't work. We adjust accordingly. She ended up getting one good one. I think it was in the 4th round, maybe the 5th. But she just kept going for it. And every time she went for it, even if she got it, she just lost position every single time. But on the feet, she was doing the damn thing on the feet. Every single exchange, she was winning. But once it got to the ground, Santos just was better down there, which was kind of surprising.
I didn't
to be
know.
honest. Yeah.
I was shocked too.
But I felt like, 4th, 5th round, like why are we going for takedowns? You're clearly winning on the feet. So that was just kind of uncharacteristic of Valentina. But again, we say this all the time. The hardest thing to do in combat sports is be a champion and be a dominant champion. Because you got to be perfect every single night, and you have to take everybody's best night every single title defense. It's so tough.
And I want to talk about this comment too. Valentina's been on lots of 5-rounders. There's so much tape to look at for these opponents to look at Valentina. They know what they're getting. Like with Santos, I think that's why this fight was still intriguing, because we knew Santos was good, but we just didn't know how good she was. It was just kind of this. She was a bit of a mystery, to be honest. I didn't know how good she was on the ground. And who do we have? Oh, okay.
Somebody from the UFC.
Yeah.
That's not Dana White.
Now UFC person. Here we go.
Oh, it's bonus time. Here we go.
There we go.
Want me to get right into it, or?
I'll do a little intro right off. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Let's make sure we're good to go here. All right, so a whole bunch of information to share. First of all, the gate tonight was $1,546,732 USD, with 10,787 people in the building, sold out, 16th consecutive sellout with full capacity, and a Singapore indoor stadium sporting event gate record. Fight of the night was the main event. The performance bonuses go to all those who had finishes: Silvana Mahashate, Jack Della, Jake Matthews, and Zhang Weili. The Crypto.com bonuses, first bonus for $30,000 in Bitcoin was Shevchenko. Second bonus for $20,000 in Bitcoin was Jiri, and $10,000 worth of Bitcoin for Zhang Weili. It sounds like, Mike, you got a question.
Yeah, just because this event surpassed expectations. I mean, the fight's delivered, obviously a full crowd and everything. Just give us your thoughts on what we saw tonight in a spectacular fight card.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't ever control what goes on inside the octagon. It is a massive plus when you get a card like that. It delivered from bottom all the way to top. It was a great night from the perspective of how the event was embraced by fans, right? I think first fight in, sort of 7:15, 7:20, we had, I think, close to 3,000 people already in the building. A lot of Australians in the building early. But I think first and foremost, massive week with Road to UFC, all the activations that went on during the week. capped off by the fight this evening or this morning and this afternoon, which was absolutely thrilling.
And just to clarify, does Yuri get a performance bonus as well with the finish?
Yuri gets the fight of the night bonus, and then everyone else,
every other finish.
Yeah, gets the performance bonuses.
Okay, great. And yeah, to speak to a little more like the early fight card, you can barely notice when you're in here and the fights get rolling that we're 12 hours ahead. So does that just reaffirm that you can go anywhere in the world and stick to the U.S. start times, and it still can be a very successful event locally?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's always an advantage to having an event in prime time locally. We know that pay-per-views, other than the one event we're going to have each year in Abu Dhabi, are not going to be changing time. It just makes so much sense, right? We've got to have a destination. We've got to have a very firm time that people know throughout the pay-per-view regions, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, where if it's 10 p.m. in New York or 7 p.m. in Las Vegas, the pay-per-view is starting. So that's not going to change. But we will have from time to time, as we talked about, an event like in Abu Dhabi that's an off prime for a North American audience. For us, we'll take events whenever we can get them. If there's an opportunity to come to Singapore with an event that starts with the doors opening at 6 and the first fight at 7, we will absolutely take it. I think, as you mentioned, the fact that we had a sold-out show tonight and people in the building very early just reaffirms the decision that it's okay to come at 6 in the morning. Not much different than Perth, right? When we were in Perth a few years ago, sort of the same thing. Early start time, early crowd, and excellent fights as well. So.
And just 2 questions on the fights themselves. Jiri Prochazka, the first UFC champion from the Czech Republic. What does that kind of mean to the company's presence in there? Can you give an idea what kind of market it is there for the UFC and how it elevates it, having Jiri win the belt?
Absolutely. We've got a great new relationship with Digisport. And so for us, having a champion to support a new broadcast relationship and one that we feel is very promising for the next several years, that's going to go a long way. I think more than anything, like having a guy like with his style, it was super, I guess a bit unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen. We were trying to explain to the main event to some of our partners from another country just what our thoughts were, how we were anticipating the fight to go, and it was really tough to tell. But what we did know is that there was going to be a number of really wild exchanges and some angles with knees and elbows, and I think that's what we got. I was amazed at his grappling. I mean, the number of reversals, and just when you think that someone had control and they were going to have a sustained period of time with top control, side control, whatever it was up against the cage, it would just change on a dime. So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and Jan Blachowicz tweeted out, let's do this fight in Europe. It would be the biggest fight that could be done there. I know it's very early to make a decision like that, but could you see that being a possibility to have, Poland versus Czech Republic, how significant that could be over there?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of examples. It's easier, if first fight is at 7 a.m., it's a little easier than first fight being at 3 a.m. So depending on what time of year, it's probably main card starting around there. Was at Rumble and Gustafsson was in Stockholm in the middle of the night. Bisping, maybe Hendo in Manchester in the middle of the night. So there are a few examples where it works. So maybe it's on Dana's radar.
And then just lastly for me, Joanna Jedrzejczyk retires after the loss tonight. Can you just speak to what she's meant to this company over the years and just any thoughts you have on her career in this retirement?
It's a good question. Incredible champion. The common theme this week was what an incredible promoter she's been. And the number of content pieces with JJ and Zhang Weili, but driven obviously by her, the viewership for those almost surpassed other members of the card, which, I don't think would come as much of a surprise to you guys. You've spent time with her all week. You've spent time with her in her career. You know how expressive she is. She knows really what sells when it comes to dialing in some of the key sound bites that are necessary. She was also very gracious in defeat, I think, as you guys saw. Super emotional right off the bat. I think when she sort of turned over and sat up, you could see that there were tears welling up in her eyes. And she obviously was very complimentary of Zhang Weili. But she's been an incredible role model for, all athletes, that are up and coming in the UFC. I think she's really paved the way for women's MMA as sort of an early pioneer of that in the UFC. And we're going to miss her for sure.
Very pretty. You mentioned there was a lot of Australians, obviously, in the crowd. A lot of them, even at the Q&A, they just wanted to speak to Rob. They thought he was going to fight, and they just kept their tickets. Obviously, you just had the big boxing match in Marvel Stadium like last weekend. So how soon are you guys going to look to go back in Australia with all these fighters?
Very soon. Yeah, we want to get back to Australia as soon as possible. Very important market for us, not only from a fan base perspective, number of either champions or top 5 ranked athletes that we've got. And, we're really on a mission right now to get back on track internationally. We want to get back to all of the kind of key regions that are, pre-COVID, such an instrumental part of our international strategy. It's a tough situation, post-COVID, trying to find venues in cities for dates that work well for us has been a huge challenge. It's been a big lift for, Peter Dropic and the whole event development team. Mike and I were talking about this week. If you think about like over the course of 12 pay-per-views, that typically in March we're going to be in Vegas, as well as July, October, and December. Typically we're in New York in November. We like to find an event for Brazil. So finding an arena on the date that's important for us has been challenging with all of the music tours and the exhibitions, all the other content, all the other programming that, for the last few months has been booking out nights and venues that we want to go to. So as soon as we can, we will. I'm not really sure if there's room for a pay-per-view this year, just the way that schedule is played out, but I think early in 2023 would be excellent.
You mentioned trying to go back into markets that you were planning on going back to pre-COVID, but with this road to the UFC, you have fighters from India and Thailand stuff, places you haven't been to yet. So can we expect fight cards there within the next few years?
Sorry, what country? India and which country?
Thailand.
And Thailand. Yeah, absolutely. I think in Thailand, we're thinking about very seriously, sort of waiting. I think there's an arena being built that's either under construction already or will be built. So we might have to wait for that. But yeah, at some point in the next few years, I think the important thing for us is to get back, very as soon as possible to China, to Brazil, to Canada, to Australia, to other countries in Europe that we haven't been back to. We're getting to France in September for the first time, which is really exciting. But Scandinavia and Germany, all very important destinations for us with the fan base and the athletes that come from those countries. Yes, sir.
Right here. Right here.
Sir. Go ahead.
Yes, you mentioned we were talking a little bit about the format with the road to the UFC, and can you talk a little bit about the plans? You mentioned some of the places that you are looking to go back to. I would also like to hear a little bit your thoughts about an event in Africa that's also been talked about a lot. Any thoughts about that?
So a couple things. I think on Road to UFC, what Kevin Chang and the team in the Shanghai office have done to create this format, and with all different departments across our company, work to execute that. I think people are very encouraged by this round one, these episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 that happened this week, Thursday, Friday. Obviously, there could be an application for this show in various parts of the world. We could do one in Brazil in a second. We could do one in Europe. We could do one through, I think Australia could hold one on its own, maybe even the Middle East. So, I'm not really sure how we're going to prioritize. I think the first order of business is for us to finish this series. We still have the next few episodes, which we're aiming to produce at some point in the fall. I'm not really sure yet. Maybe September, October, November. And then have winners sorted, hopefully by the end of the year, maybe early next year. Not really sure at this point. But that's super important for us to deliver for all of our Asian broadcasters, and specifically Migu, for whom the show is built, in prime time, and really have a celebration of athletes from North Asia all the way down to Southeast Asia. So important format for us. When it comes to Africa, yeah, it's a destination. You saw the NFL talking about some of the activations they're going to bring to. I think they were going to. Were they going to Rwanda? I forget which country they were going to. Anyway, we've got a few different destinations we've been working with a few parties on to get a better understanding of what's required to have an event there. But it's still going to be a late 2022 thing, 2023 thing at the earliest, I believe. Thanks.
Just a follow-up on the road to the UFC. We had one Swedish girl fighting, Josephine Knutsson, that she got the win. How will we know if she gets a UFC contract? Is there any time frame, or if it's just something that the crew have to look and and kind of ponder on?
I think once Mick gets back to the U.S. and sits back down with Dana and Sean and Hunter, we'll probably have a better idea.
Yeah. So just to make sure, 50K, the performance bonuses, everybody got 50K?
I believe that's correct, yes.
Why?
Except for the Bitcoin, except for the crypto.com
Sure.
bonuses.
What went through the decision to actually award all the guys that finish their fights with performance bonuses instead of just the regular 2 guys?
So I don't know. Performance bonuses are typically driven by Dana. I think he confers with Sean and Mick and Hunter, and they figure out who they want to give bonuses to. Here's what I can tell you is that at various points of the night, I went over to chat with Mick just to get his impression on what was going on with some of these fights and what was his perspective on a few different things. And he kept saying, like, one of the difficult things is going to be trying to figure out who gets the performance bonuses. So I'm sure it was a combination of a variety of things. One, overall, just the general success of the card. Number 2, all of the finishes were pretty spectacular finishes. So if you guys dig down and try to figure out who should be getting the performance bonuses, it's not an easy task. I expect it was a confluence of different things and, almost a celebration of being in Singapore for the 4th time and having a pay-per-view internationally for the first time other than Abu Dhabi.
And you mentioned we have to find a date for Brazil. What are the plans? Do you have a plan, like any estimate this year still? And is Charles involved in it? Is Charles going to be defending in Brazil?
So I can't comment on Charles because I just don't know. We'll have to ask Dana about that. We're aiming to be in Brazil at some point before the end of the year. All the challenges that I described before exist not only here in Singapore, not only in North America, Brazil as well. It's tough to get into venues. We're going to be in Brazil as soon as we can. I'm hoping that it's this fall. I'm also hoping that we've got an event there early next year.
Thank you.
Obrigado. Thanks, everybody.
NFL's going to gone.
All right, Dave Shaw, doing his not best Dana White impression, but did a fine job.
I appreciate the reporter asking him a question. He's like, I don't know. I don't know. Dana decides that. I don't know.
Defer to Dana. I'm
just gonna read numbers. Yeah.
So all the finishers outside of Yuri got bonuses. Yuri got a fight at the night post. Oh, and there's Zhang Weili. She gets a bonus.
Well, waiting for first of all, congratulations on the victory. Now that the dust has settled, what are the emotions going through your minds now after that impressive knockout over Joanna?
他说：“首先，恭喜你获得这样一个非常漂亮的胜利。然后在获得这样的胜利之后，你的心情和你的情绪是怎么样的？”
我心情其实还是比较稳定的，因为在赛前付出了很多努力训练，然后就还是比较稳定的。
Actually, my emotion is very stable because I did a lot of hard work during my training campus, so I don't think I'm really emotional after get the victory.
Then Joanna was in here, and she said she was surprised at how strong you were, especially when you took her to the canvas, how you could control her, and she described your game plan and your skill set as beautiful in there. So I'm curious, was that the game plan, and did you work it to perfection from your fight camp?
他说乔安娜刚刚在发布会里面说，他对你的力量非常惊讶，觉得你力量很大，然后你在把他逼到笼边摔他的时候，那些技术也完成的非常漂亮。然后他想问一下，这个是你之前的比赛计划中的一部分吗？
对，其实这次备战的很充分，然后力量啊，然后减重啊，一切都很顺利，所以身体状态也特别好。
Actually, I did a lot of work during my training campus, my weight cut, my strengths, my skills. So everything is well prepared. So that's why my fight goes really smooth.
Then the spinning back fist that knocked her out, was that a technique you knew after the first round or so that you could take advantage of, or did you just see it in the moment and capitalized on it?
他说这个转身边拳你打出来的时候，是因为你在第一回合看到了有这样的机会，计划在第二回合打，还是在当时第二回合看到了这个机会才打出来的？
其实这个边拳的转身的一些动作，我们在训练当中做了很多，所以就是一个本能的反应。
Actually, I did a lot of spinning techniques practice in my training, so that spinning back fist just like natural reaction.
And then, of course, Dana White said the winner of this fight would fight Carla Esparza next. Joanna predicted that you would beat Carla in the first round. So I'm curious, looking ahead, how do you think your skill set matches up with Carla as champion?
白大拿之前也说过，这场比赛的胜者会去挑战冠军。然后之前好像你也说过，你会可以在第一回合终结那个卡拉。然后那个你觉得这场比赛之后，你觉得你和卡拉的比赛会怎么样呢？
这场比赛以后，我希望我跟卡拉在阿布扎比，我知道10月20号在阿布扎比有一场，所以我特别希望我们在一个第三方去打这个比赛。我觉得我跟卡拉的比赛应该也很好看，他也是一个很有特点的一个选手，我也期待我和他比赛，然后趁这个机会，我也希望把我的摔跤练好。
So I want to fight with Kara at Abu Dhabi. So as I know, there was a fight on October around 20th. So I think Kara is a special fighter too. So I think that's gonna be a really good fight also for me and for her. So not China, not US. We want to fight the third countries. So that's gonna be fair for both of us.
Then finally, for me, Joanna, of course, announced her retirement. I think obviously you two will be linked together for so long, especially after your first fight. What do you make of her career as a fighter, and what do you remember most of her as a champion and former opponent?
刚刚那个乔纳在赛后采访里也宣布了他的退役。当然，从你们俩第一番战开始到现在，你们俩之间也有过很多的这种故事和羁绊。然后他想问一下，你作为一个职业选手来说，你觉得你对他的职业生涯，你印象最深刻的是什么
Joanna 以前在我那时候还没有就是打 UFC 的时候，我就一直在看着 Joanna， 她就相当于一个旗帜像的一个人物在那儿立着，然后每天我都会看她，然后觉得她特别特别厉害，就梦想着就是可以跟她去打比赛，然后她是一个旗帜性的人物。
So before I become a UFC fighter, actually Joanna was the champion. So he's like a role model of myself. So I want to chase her every day. I practice a lot. So he's quite of like the flagship person in this division in UFC.
他也是一个，我觉得他也是一个战士。
And also I think he's a really greatest warrior in this industry.
Right here. To have the first fight be so back and forth and then to come in and win this one so definitively, what do you think that says about you, the fact that you were able to put her away like that? The first fight was so close and this one was very definitive. How happy is she about that?
他说就是第一场比赛你们俩是打到分期判定嘛，然后到了第二场比赛之后，你是以终结的方式结束了这场比赛，这个结果的落差还是很大的。你觉得这场比赛之后，你有比第一场比赛结束开心很多吗？
我看到 Joanna 的表情，然后并且她说她退役的时候，我没有，就是我特别能理解她的那种感受，我没有那种特别兴奋或特别开心的感觉。我觉得这都是一个过程，也是一个人生的一个体验。
Actually, there's no really happy or excited after that, especially when I know Joanna was retired after this fight. I think this is the experience of every fighter in this career. This is like the experience of the life.
And you were able to train at home with your regular team for this fight. How much of a difference did that make? You seemed to be in very good shape all week, and then obviously the performance was very great too.
他说这次备战以后，你的这些身体的状态都有很好的那个一个提升。这次这个备赛和你之前有什么不一样呢？
这次备赛呢，我在泰国备赛，然后很安静，非常非常的专注。我在那边每天特别专注于训练，专注于恢复，整个人的状态也很好。
So for this time, I did the training campus in Thailand. So that place make me I can 100% focus on my training campus. All the things only training and the environment is very quiet. So that's why it makes me all the conditioning gets better this time.
And just going back to a fight with Carla, she obviously has a style that can cause people a lot of problems in different ways. What do you think is the most challenging aspect of fighting her?
他说再说到卡拉的话，因为他也是一个非常有技术的选手，能给任何选手带来一些麻烦。你觉得如果你和他打的话，你最大的挑战会是什么？
我觉得其实都还好吧。我觉得前面的对手没有一个是弱的，我觉得每个人都有他自己的特点。然后我觉得我要 跟卡拉打的话，我会提高我的摔跤、柔术、缠斗一切，我觉得都没问题。
I think there's no big fighters in the top ranking, so I think I need to, before I fight with Kara, I need to improve my grappling, my BJJ, my wrestling. So I think there's nothing like there something I need to especially careful. I just need to improve myself.
因为我觉得，MMA 本来是一个很有包容性的运动，我们不能就是有很多短板，所以我希望做一个六边形战士。
So mixed martial arts is like very overall sports. So I don't think we can have any disadvantage on any aspects. So I want to be a well-rounded fighter.
And just lastly, how much nicer is it that you can go celebrate this win relatively unscathed compared to last time where you guys, were very damaged and had to go to the hospital?
他说上一场一番战之后，因为受的伤比较重嘛，也没能去庆祝。像这场比赛之后，你没有受什么重度伤，你想赛后又怎么庆祝呢？
首先我第一点其实还好吧。第一点我想到我赢下来以后，我的心态跟以前有一点点不一样。我以前的时候，哇，赢了以后感觉整个人的气都到头顶上了。然后这次我赢了以后，我就告诉自己要沉稳，这个不是一个我们的终点，所以我们还要继续的努力。所以我觉得跟平时一样，出去吃一点自己想吃的东西，吃个冰激凌。
Actually, in the previous fight, after I get the victory, I may think the special celebration of the victory. But for this time, my emotion actually got very stable. So that's the difference with previous fight. So maybe I'm just hang out with my team and go have some good food and grab a ice cream.
Yes, you're coming up almost a decade as a fighter. I would like to know a little bit about your thoughts about how MMA has been received in China, how you've seen the rise of MMA and how you are perceived as a fighter.
他说你作为一个 MMA 选手的话，作为一个中国 MMA 选手，你对这个中国 MMA 的一个发展和未来有什么样的看法？
中国的MMA 这几年发展的非常非常快，然后有非常多的很优秀的运动员开始崭露头角，也有很多的运动员加入到 UFC 来。我觉得未来肯定会有更多的 UFC 的运动员出现在中国，然后也会有新的冠军出现。我觉得。
Actually, MMA in China has very good development in recent years. There are a lot of future fighters, like younger generations, to join the UFC or fighting in the local organization. They are really good, and also I think they are definitely going to be a new champion from UFC champion from China.
And also, we've seen, of course, not only MMA but also women's MMA developing so much. Can you talk a little bit about your reception especially from women and girls that are looking at you as a role model?
他说现在不光是MMA 项目，包括这个女子的 MMA 也在全世界的有一个发展。你能不能聊一下，现在有很多全世界范围的女性把你当成她们的人生榜样，然后你有什么样的想法？
我觉得以前的时候，我也是看到隆达罗西，然后他拿的 UFC 第一个腰带的时候，我也是坚定的我自己的目标。我觉得女孩也可以在男性林立的八角笼里展示女性的力量，我觉得是一件非常非常酷的事情，我也想要这样去做。我觉得女孩我们也可以我们女孩不一定是非得是特别柔弱的或者什么样的，我们可以是钢铁的，然后我们可以是强壮的，所以我觉得女孩不会被定义，任何职业任何行业我们女性都可以发光发热。
So also same as myself, when I was first time see Ronda Rousey got her belt in UFC, so that makes me think female also can have their space in the octagon. So that's why I push myself to fight and come make myself as a UFC fighter. So as a female, I think we don't need to be sweet or definitely like that, something like that. So we also can be solid, also can be tough. So we also can fight in the octagon.
And lastly, for me, talking about Chinese fighter, from your perspective, who should the fans have a close look on as a future champion?
他说 你觉得现在中国的选手里面，除了你自己之外，其他人的话，你觉得谁最有可能成为下一位冠军呢？在你的想法中？
其实我觉得每一个努力的人都有机会，对，每一个努力的人都有机会。
Actually, there's not specific athlete. I think everyone who pay the hard work, they have their opportunity to become the champion.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
There she is, the former and in a lot of people's eyes, future UFC strawweight champion, Zhang Weili. What a performance! What a knockout! I mean, she might be the best strawweight in the world right now.
Yeah, I will
without
have
the
her.
title.
Yeah, I will have her ranked number one. Coming, I think I had her ranked number one already coming into this, but I really wonder what the betting line is going to be against Carla. Plus 400 for Carla, maybe. I think it's going to be pretty.
Zhang will be like a minus 500 favorite at least to like open, and then that would be my guess. I mean, who knows? But big win for her, big knockout.
Well, Carla's going to be she was going to be a big underdog against anyone she fought next, be it Rose, maybe probably against Rose.
Marina would probably be the only one she would be a slight favorite over.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Great performance. Was that knockout of the year? Did that go over Ferguson? Oh, I think it's right there.
No.
Okay. Right.
It's up there. Molly's. She's probably number 3.
It's level competition with Molly. Sorry, Molly. You're not gonna break the top 5 with me of the level competition. I mean, this was freaking Joanna.
But it's not about level. I mean, I get where you're coming from.
Well, if we're counting on that,
judging on the knockout itself.
We can find some LFA, some rando knockouts, but I understand. Well, we're not. That's another discussion. Sorry.
Another discussion for another day. I don't believe Tyler Santos will be arriving, at least from what I've seen on social media. I could be wrong, but I mean, that eye was in pretty rough shape, so I could definitely see her being transported. So we'll at least hear from Valentina Shevchenko. We'll probably hear from Jiri Prochazka.
Yeah. Hopefully we hear from Jiri and Glover. That's the hope.
I mean, who knows? They both might be transported.
Yeah, I was thinking we're not going to see either of them, to be honest.
But we'll see what's going on. The mic's still there, the light's still on, so we'll probably hear from Valentina next.
Yeah, Valentina,
which will be really interesting. Yeah. And then we'll go from there. We'll go into the post-fight show. Is Jiri's submission the submission of the year after UFC promoted Glover as having the best MMA grappling, beating tap to a guy the broadcast saying couldn't grapple like Glover? I mean, it's got to be in the conversation for sure.
It's in the conversation for maybe most shocking finish. I wouldn't put submission of the year because it was really based on 24 minutes of freaking hell to get that submission, and the submission itself was really just I'm just gonna squeeze as hard as I can. Yeah, might as well. I mean, I kind of put it up there with Julia Pena's submission over Nunes. It's just kind of more of an exhausted opponent.
This had to have been better though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
Here's Valentina.
Valentina, right here. Congratulations on another title defense. So now that the dust is settled and you reflected on the fight, what are the emotions going through your head right now?
Emotion. I did everything that I had to do. I had challenged fight, and I had all distance 5 rounds, and this is exactly what I wanted. Opponent who are not giving up from the first seconds, going to the end, and in this kind of fight, you kind of can really show what you're made of, your character, your mindset. It kind of get what is yours, victory, no matter how hard, no matter how difficult. It's showing who you are. So I'm happy.
Well, going off of that, we've seen dominant champions before that have kind of just ran through their competition, and people always say, well, what happens when they get pushed? Can they push through that? Do they have that? So while you may have not gotten the finish, is this like one of the better case scenarios that you did have this grueling and grinding difficult win?
Yes, you cannot predict knockouts. You cannot predict submission. You just have to make sure you had like the best training camp you ever had, because every next single challenge, it's not going to be easier one. It's going to be more tougher and tougher. And I'm happy to fight with the best ones who really had this like mindset to go and challenge for their victories. And as I mentioned, this is only one way to show that you are a real champion. And this is like, I'm in martial arts almost 30 years. Next year is going to be exactly 30 years what I do martial arts. So it means a lot. And it's my mindset. This is what I'm really think about, like not looking at the fight as a like easy opponents. Every time get ready for the most and working toward like everything that you have to do to get the victory.
She obviously had some success with the takedown. She took your back a few times. She had good scrambles, and you escaped the submission attempts and everything. But did she do anything that surprised you in there that maybe caught you off guard?
It was everything that we were looking into her previous fight. So she did exactly the same what she was doing. Nothing surprised me, and I really didn't have any position. Even when she was on my back, I didn't feel trouble when you kind of like, oh my God, this is tight, and you have to work on your character to escape this. So no, there was not. And more than that, she kind of like was inactive, and me being even in that position, I was like striking, and I feel the power of the strike, and I felt how she reacts because it was hurting her. And this is what counts the most in mixed martial arts: damage. And through the fight, like going from round to round, you could see like more damage showing on her face more and more. And this is kind of like no matter what position, you have to work your job. You have to work your things, what to do. The only other thing that it's weight difference. Weight, it was kind of like notable that she was big. And I don't know, maybe it's the structure what we have here, kind of like 2 nights after the weigh-in to replenish the food, to gain more weight, because coming into this fight, into the arena, my weight was 130 pounds. Yeah, and I didn't gain almost nothing. And she looked like was kind of like bigger. Maybe this was why she had a little bit more success on taking the position. But the same, as I mentioned, she was not active, even like just holding position, but being not active, it doesn't mean you're gonna win the fight. Me being on the ground, being on the like other position, I felt constantly striking, and working towards the victory.
And then when they read the judges' scorecards, it was a split decision. One judge had her winning the fight. Did any part of you, were you worried at all that maybe the split decision would go her way instead of yours?
At that moment and that position, I knew, and this is my mindset, that I know some fighters, they kind of like, even between the rounds, they're like, how do you think who's going to win this round? They're asking their corners. But to avoid this situation, you have to work. You don't have to think maybe it was your way, maybe it was other way. You have to work every single second before the fight ends. And this is what I did. I worked till the last second of the fight to get my victory, to get my hands raised up. Definitely when it's score, when it's judges, you never know. But if you work out everything that you have and left your heart and soul in the fight, you would be proud of yourself, no matter what.
And last one for me, I don't know, I'm sure you saw it was the fight before you, but Joanna Jedrzejczyk retired after her loss to Weili. I'm just wondering, like you said at Media Day, you've known her since even before you were in mixed martial arts. So can you reflect on her career as a fighter and a fellow champion as well?
I think about Joanna that she is truly martial artist, and she's been in martial arts for so many years, and it's amazing. She is an amazing example for many people, inspiration for many women to do martial arts, to be successful, to be powerful. And you know, in our lives, we kind of like have this kind of person that we are going parallel all the time. I know Joanna since 2006. This is the first time when we fought together. We every time was opponents in my Muay Thai career, in even here in UFC, we had a fight. So, but this fights, this rivalry, it's made us gain respect of each other. I know how hard she's worked. I know how dedicated she as a person, and I just have true respect to her, and she deserves all love of the fans. And it's another chapter on her career, and I think she will be the same successful as she was in mixed martial arts, in all martial arts.
Hi, Valentina, right here. Congratulations on the win. A lot of people seem to feel that Tyler kind of lost something when that clash of heads happened and her eyes started swelling up. Did you notice a change in her at all after that moment? She said she was seeing two of you after that point.
She said she was seeing two of me. That's funny. It's just like, I don't know that it was that point when she started to break down, but I feel like when you feel pressure and when you feel that your opponent is not giving up and willing to fight till the end, this is what like brought this breakage into her. And definitely when it's constantly, it's 5 rounds, it's 25 minutes, and it's not just one strike, it's just not something just one, it's constantly hitting and hitting, and it's affecting how they going into one, into the second, and the third, and this is definitely all the strikes that happened into the fight. It was because of that.
And you've been extremely dominant in this division, but there's some people out there, including the one judge, who do think you lost this fight. Is it good for the division to have this happen, to have a competitive fight now? Maybe people think there is people out there that can beat you, and that brings more interest.
Maybe they can think they can beat me, but they cannot. Even in the hard position, champion's mindset, it's every time will be on top. And this is what I have. As I mentioned, like being in martial arts for 30 years, it's make me hard opponent, very hard. So even they think they can, but they cannot.
Just gonna wait a second here so we can get the lights
Yes,
back on.
I just wait.
All right, why are we
Waiting for the lights. What was amazing is that she didn't even stop.
The no sell. Then Tony no sold it. Yeah.
Totally knows all that. Just kept going.
One more, and then we'll let you go.
Run back.
You said you were 130 pounds tonight. What does this result at all change your desire to go up to 135? Do you still want to see what happens with Juliana and Amanda?
Yes, it's still something that I really consider. But also I have to mention that July we have in flyweight amazing fight between two very strong fighters. It's Lauren Murphy and Miesha Tate. So it's gonna be amazing fight, and I think if Lauren Murphy gets a victory, rematch maybe, but not that soon. Miesha Tate wins the fight, and I think this is what fans are gonna love to see. And end of the year, pay-per-view, main event, I think it's gonna be great. But still, like another option is Juliana and Amanda in bantamweight. And once it's gonna be kind of like more towards finalizing, I will start to work on like building my body a little bit heavier. a little bit, just a little bit, to not to lose the speed. And yeah, it's a lot of options for me. So just to choose which one.
Valentina, just going off the back of that, you mentioned you came into the fight tonight not that heavy. Have you ever thought about maybe going down to strawweight, winning the title there, then going up to 135 to try and win 3 belts?
You know, seeing how girls was struggling, like Joanna Weili, in their weight cut, and I was like, oh my God, I have to refuse of all the food what I had during this week. And it's I feel good in my natural class. I feel good in in flyweight, because yeah, even like fighter is Tyla, they are heavier than like other girls. But even it's kind of like, that's okay. It's bring like on the table a challenge, to the good challenge, and yeah. Have to think, really have to think. I'm not discarding that opportunity, but it's kind of like less likely at the moment.
You start in the movie Bruised with Halle Berry. Can you talk a little bit about if that's something that you want to pursue, even also in the future, have more projects, maybe even have something going on right now?
I would love to. Yes, it was amazing experience to work with Halle Berry. She's an amazing person, amazing actress, amazing director, and I definitely would love to continue this path, this way, like all my life, and do it. I don't see it challenging to do it like in the same time between the fights. I see it's completely doable. And I'm willing to do that, and I know that it's gonna be not any distraction for my fights. And I don't know, I have to come back and maybe ask Halle to do Bruce too. I think she would love to do that.
So during this time, I mean, it sounds like you became really close friends. Have you kept this up, your friendship with her since doing this movie together?
Yes, always. As I mentioned, she's an amazing person. She's supports all mixed martial arts. She truly loves sport, boxing. She loves martial arts and everything. And you kind of like feel that it's very sincere. And yes, after my fight, she every time calling me, congratulate me, and every time she's like sending the best vibes. And it's amazing. It's amazing to have this friend that truly love what you are doing.
That's awesome. Just one thing, after the fight, I think a lot of people were expecting the dance and everything. Well, how can you shine a little bit of light on that?
Yes, I was ready to do that, but you know, coming into the fight, I was injured. My foot was injured. In all week, fight week, UFC Performance Institute, physical therapist, Heather, Tara, they was working on my foot to get it back into the best shape. And few kicks that I had like super strong, and it's injured my foot. That's why kind of like I was willing to dance, but I don't know. We will have to do X-ray. I hope it's nothing serious that could delay my return to the octagon. But this is the reason why I didn't dance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just one going off that. Did you ever? How serious was the injury? Did you ever consider pulling out of the fight?
Actually, no. Considering to pulling out of the fight, never. I was every time when I have something, I try to deal with that first. And actually, I could not walk on my feet when I got this injury, and I couldn't jump on it. Yes, but like thankfully to the PT, to Heather, to Tara, they were able to get me back that I kind of like felt okay. And definitely when you are in the fight, you with all this adrenaline and you just kick no matter what. And then like you kick and then you think what's going to happen.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, Valentina, just talking about your injury, right? So are you looking to take some time off to heal and to take some time off, or are you thinking of healing and going back to training camp?
Depends of the injury. After X-ray we're gonna do, it's gonna reveal what kind of injury is that. I hope it's not serious and it's just like something that can heal week or two. And because next fight next training camp, it's for my sister Antonina. She's gonna fight July 9th in Las Vegas, so I have to be in her training camp. I have to help her as well, the same way that she helped me and the same way she supported me. I have to be for her as she was for me this training camp.
And on top of that, I just want to ask, are you looking to fight again this year, or are you looking to maybe start off the year fresh next year, maybe moving up and fighting for another belt?
No, I want to fight. I want to fight this year. And if I can fight twice, it's going to be amazing. And I never looking for like longer layoff. Only sometimes it's happened because some injuries, what you have to deal. But yes, definitely, I want to continue my journey in martial arts and see the limit as martial artists. Because if we are not putting in our heads the limit, there is no one.
All right, congratulations on tonight, and I hope your next fight, I hope you get that next belt.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I mean, there's very few like her. Humble in victory, humble with whatever performance. The lights go out, she works through it. The lights come back on, she works through it. Just stone cold.
And got to rep that
Nothing
sponsor.
rattles her.
Repping that sponsor.
That's right. She had 3 freaking cans in front of her, so she repped it all right. She repped it all right.
She's like, that was a monster victory for me.
Monster. All right,
I guess
so
we're
she gets it done.
still waiting to hear if we're gonna get the main event, guys. Do we know? Are we? Or have you been sent to the hospital? Let's see.
I don't know. They turned the lights off. Then they came back on, so I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll just me.
Did I hear like a forklift going backwards the entire time
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Goodness. Singapore don't give a freak.
Well, it's funny. The lights went out, and I forget. It's what? It's 2:00 there or something. It's the afternoon. It's like everyone's going to lunch right now. It's like,
yeah, lunchtime. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
So we'll see. I bet we'll hear from Yuri.
Yeah,
Glover, who knows? Maybe we get them both at the same time.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. We just have them both to come together.
Throw some comments up here while we're waiting.
Like, I mean, it's in there. I mean, it's up there.
It just the rawness of this fight. You know, this wasn't a highly technical fight. This was a fight. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it was a fight. And yeah, that's what I think, you know, people talking about, is that gonna be submission of the year? Not for me, but if you go in just the upset factor, like who would have predicted, you know, like if Glover would have done that to Yuri, I don't think we got submission of the year, but the fact that Yuri did it to Glover, who knows? But yeah,
it'll be in the top 5. It'll get votes with our staff, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if in 10 years, Yuri and Glover, this fight is in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Yes,
I could definitely see that. So
Yep.
we potentially saw 2 Hall of Fame fighters in the main event tonight. We didn't even know.
Well, I think we had an idea.
Think
But,
Glover
yeah.
was a Hall of Famer, regardless of a fight?
He's gonna be.
Think so? I don't know what the
Listen,
criteria is,
if-
honestly.
You don't piss the company off. You won a title, and you had exciting fights. Check. He did it. Did all of those things. He'll get in. You kidding me? That dude's getting in. With the
Man,
twilight of the career this man had, he's getting in.
Man, I'm just like, I want to talk more about the fights, but I'm just kind of reliving the fights in my head right now. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't want to talk about it too much because we're going to talk about it in the
Yeah,
post-fight show.
I don't want to.
I want to just
wear
save
myself
some of
out.
that energy.
Yeah, save
You know
some.
what I mean?
So let me. I'll throw some of your comments up here to the
Perfect.
few thousand people watching right now. I appreciate it.
Glover wants it. I'm sure Yuri's not going to say no to it.
Who
The biggest loser probably in all of this is Ankalaev and Anthony Smith, because You don't have Glover for very long. You don't have Glover for very long. You might have like another 2 fights out of him. So it's not like you could. It's not like you could back pocket this fight like Connor and Nate or something like that. We're like, oh, we just go back to this well anytime. You don't have a lot of time, so you might as well just do it. And if Glover loses, you know what I mean? I think you just have to do it.
This one feels like a proper rematch, because especially considering there isn't really a strong number 1 contender, and Ankalaev, while he may deserve it, this is still prize fighting, and I'm not sure if that will sell enough for the UFC and ESPN. So I can definitely see them going back to Yuri Glover too, and I will have no issue with that. None at all. None at all.
Unless Ankalaev just obliterates Anthony Smith in like 20 seconds, and then Yuri can somehow turn around and fight in Abu Dhabi, I could see them maybe going to that well. But if if that doesn't happen, you just got to run this. You run this back.
No issue running it back.
100%. You run back both title fights. I think that's perfectly fine.
Where's Jan in all this, you think?
Jan went right to Twitter and said, "Let's go, Yuri. Let's have the biggest fight in the continent. Let's go." So Yuri's Jan's gonna try for that fight for sure. But
I mean, maybe
actually Jan might be the well. I actually think Jan might actually.
Oh,
I don't know what this means.
Are we done?
Waiting for the Undertaker gong sound.
Let me ask Jose. Hold on.
We'll figure it out. We'll let you know.
Jose, what's going
Keep
on?
posted. So if you guys missed it, if you guys jumped in a little late, bonuses, fight of the night. I mean, come on now. I don't even need to say it.
How do they only get $100,000 or $50,000 each? That's ridiculous. Oh no.
And how do you give all the other? How does Yuri not get another bonus for the finish?
Bonus, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay, so Jose, our man on the boots on the ground, he says the presser is not over. They're just having lighting issues, but we will be getting the new champion.
So just Yuri, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if Glover, but I guess we're getting one of them. I mean, I assume we're getting Yuri, at least.
All right.
But he said they said the presser is not over. So, all right.
Well, come on, let's get this show on the road, people.
Yeah, I know. Man, I haven't been emotionally exhausted after watching fights like this in a while. I've been like exhausted because it was like 9 hours of just like, oh, I saw the same commercial 30 times. But this was like I was just like I was legitimately drained after this.
What did you think of the commentary tonight? I mean, Anik was the man. He's always is.
Anik's always on. You know what? I like DC when DC went to the replays in between rounds and he started breaking things down. He started breaking things down in between the rounds when he kind of has time to kind of collect his thoughts. During the fight, a lot they were kind of all over the place. But in the main event, which I think was what matters, and even actually the main and co-main, I thought there was nothing that really. They didn't say anything that really kind of blew me that shocked me in a bad way. I thought it was okay in the top 3 fights actually, which is what really matters.
I was doing like a million things at once, so I didn't hear it all. But I don't know why, but I saw a lot of people complaining about Bisping more than DC, but I don't know.
Bisping. Yeah,
no Glover at the presser. By the way, it'll be Jiri Prochazka.
So there's some more comments up.
Yeah, get the comments up. Let's hear from the peeps because we'll hear from a little bit in the post-fight show. But I wonder what Joe was thinking. Yuri's being handed the title after he won. I don't know. I lost my plus money bet on Glover. I just needed 26 more damn seconds, and I would have cashed that ticket. That's what he was probably thinking. Yeah. But he's probably also just like, bets or no bets, the fight was awesome.
Oh, we didn't talk about it at all. How about this? Well, not this per se, but Leon Edwards and Usman. It's official.
I mean, cool. I mean, just what you're gonna bring to Salt Lake City, Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. But listen, the fight's happening. I liked my idea better
What was
But
your idea? What was it?
my idea was just do Chimaev Edwards for the interim title, and then the winner goes and fights Usman in just a much bigger fight for either guy. But it's okay.
It
This
seems
is
to,
fine.
if
He's
they're
coming
not
back.
if they're not rushing Usman, if Usman isn't being rushed, yeah. But I think Shemaya might have some. I don't know if there's any issues with him right now.
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah, we've heard some
Well,
rumors.
I mean, Nate put a few things out there, and
yeah,
I don't know. But
okay.
it seems like him and Bilal, like somehow Bilal Muhammad will end up getting the Shemaya fight, even though he had one of the worst blunders ever on the microphone, calling out freaking Colby. Come on, dude. If he just called out Shemaya.
Oh, and we lost you, Mr. Heck. All right, it's just me now. I'm gonna throw some comments up here.
Might already be in the books.
Oh, sorry, you're back. We lost you about 30 seconds, Mr. Heck, but you're back now. So whatever profound wisdom you just told us, it's just for you.
Can't be repeated because it was so good.
So good.
Bisping was good. Actually was giving credit to Santos, for example, when DC would just do his coaching critique thing. Bisping sounded excited and engaged for that fight. Like you said, I mean, you said they did great. So
yeah.
I didn't hear a lot of the commentary. I mean, I heard it when I was watching it. I didn't have any problems, but just going on Twitter, I saw a lot of people complaining about Bisping. I didn't really hear anything egregious.
What's interesting about this comment is like, I want from the color commentary, I want to see basically coaching critique. I don't need to hear from the color commentators how exciting a fight is. That's my opinion. I mean, that's for me to figure out when I'm watching it. I don't need to tell them this is exciting. But I understand every fan at home. They kind of they want different things from their commentary team. I'm very like I want just analytic. I mean, I just want like, what would you do in this situation? How should they be handling this? Like, that's why a lot of people don't like Dominic Cruz. I actually like Cruz a lot in the color commentary role. But I get it. We all have different opinions.
Cruz will be good once he figures out the scoring criteria. Then he's gonna be much better.
Yeah. But I think that's all of them. That's across the board.
Yeah.
Oh my! You know what? My big issue with DC is, and it's like I don't like him doing the in-cage interviews. I just wish it was Anik.
Actually, Bisping's good too.
Even Bisping's better. I thought Bisping's better. Yeah. I just don't like DC doing that. I don't know. I just there were a few. I can't remember. There were a few times. Like even with Joanna, just this is like, let go of the mic. Give the mic to Joanna. I don't know. Just let her go. Let her say what she wants. I don't know. I just didn't like this whole, like, I'm not gonna let it go. I was like, it's freaking Joanna. Come on, man.
Come on, dude. She's Felder was tremendous during the Felice Herrig thing. Felder's awesome with the post-fight interviews.
Felder's great. He has questions like, yeah, I got issues with DC in the post-fight interview, but whatever.
Yeah. So we're waiting on Jiri. Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be as chaotic as his fighting style. This dude's just such a madman. I mean, it just doesn't even he doesn't make sense. No, he just doesn't make sense. You can't put him into words. You can't describe Jiri. If someone walked down the street right now and walked by and opened this garage, being turned into a studio, and was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "This guy Jiri Prochazka just won." "Oh, tell me about him." I wouldn't even know what to say.
It's like, yeah, he's got a thing on his hair is weird, and he punches really hard, but then he's just kind of crazy. Like, I don't know.
He's not human, but he bleeds blood. Like, it's just a madman. That fight was so nuts.
It was so nuts because like I was joking. I mean, I was joking, but like I was like, Jiri Prochazka is the best and dumbest fighter I've ever seen, in the sense that like it's like, no, what do you? I don't know. Maybe it was me, but I felt like there were like 50 moments in this fight. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Don't do that. You can win doing this, but you're doing that, and it's just so crazy. But then even in the 5th round, I felt we were saying the same thing with Glover. but we just didn't realize how tired Glover was. Like Glover was like, all of a sudden he was K1ing strike. He had K1 striking on Jiri. He was just like hitting him.
Jiri and Jiri.
He was Jiri, and then he would go for the takedown. Like, no, you haven't. You're winning the fight standing. What are you doing? But then you have to remember how freaking beat up these gentlemen are, how exhausted they are. It's like, I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I can sympathize with how freaking just insanely tired and the drive they must have. And for someone like Glover, when they're so exhausted, I'm sure he can still feel like he can wrestle and grapple at a high level, with no gas in the tank. But striking wise, he just he doesn't have enough he doesn't have enough trust in his legs to keep him upright in the proper defense. So I get it. But man, can you imagine if Glover kept that fight standing in the 5th round? He wins.
He won. He probably knocks him out.
He probably knocks him out. That's just wow. But there were moments other times in the fight where I felt Jiri should have stood up and he would have won the fight. I can't remember. The rounds are all kind of a blur right now. But
yeah. Overall significant total strikes, Glover Teixeira 159 to 157. Significant strikes,
wow.
Jiri Prochazka 120 to 111. Teixeira outstruck Prochazka in round 1, Prochazka round 2, Prochazka round 3, Glover round 4, Glover round 5.
I like this comment, sorry.
How would I tell a home invader about Jiri?
Would you save some of this Give me your card. Who's this Jiri guy?
Oh my god. I would just show him any picture from tonight. I'd be like, I know that guy, and the home invader would leave. Oh, wait a minute.
These shadows.
I hear the forklift backing up again.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to tear this set down.
I feel like forklift's just gonna drive through the set.
Yuri trying to flip over the forklift right now.
Yuri's doing all his little things with the forklift.
Hey, where you going? Where you going? He's on top of it right now. He's gonna jump over. He's gonna jump over the little banner there, right into the seat. Not even gonna move it. He's just gonna float on down like a ninja. No, you're right. No boring fights for Jiri.
I mean, I know there's a lot of recency bias, but could Jiri be the most exciting minute for minute champion the UFC's ever had?
I mean, it's possible. He's definitely got a chance, but I mean, Ankalaev is probably I could beat this guy. And speaking of, look at this man.
Yes.
Look at the new champion. Jiri Prochazka.
And new.
Very well. You're in the front right here. First of all, congratulations on your victory. You've long said this week that winning this light heavyweight title was your destiny. So now that you have achieved this, what are the emotions going through your head right now?
Satisfaction after a long time of preparation and making my style ready to defend the tough wrestling style and make a surprise like a submission.
Well, going off of that, you said at media day you spent the long layoff preparing to fight someone like this with wrestling and jiu-jitsu and everything. And you even said, I don't play jiu-jitsu. And then you go and submit Glover in the final round. So are you overall satisfied with how the fight played out with your grappling and wrestling?
Yeah, I'm satisfied. But some moments like you saw, there was the Glover was in he had advantage, yeah, and his pressure was amazing. Still in his age, amazing, very very tough fighter. But doesn't matter what the fight takes. You have to give there.
You said in your post-fight interview that you were lazy in there, that you could have gone for the stoppage at times. So what moments in there were lazy? Because from the outside looking in, it was a very exciting fight.
Yeah, I understand that. I was a little bit lazy to set up set up some situation and to prepare him for the knockout. To watch in his striking, to see him, to see the moments, see the right places and catch it. Yeah, that was my laziness in the fight. Yeah.
Did anything he do surprise you?
He?
Yeah.
No, but he didn't surprise me with nothing. We knew, with my team, we knew all these things, what he have to do, and he was successful in that. So I have to work on that, not just work on the training, but work on myself to stop to stop do things what is not good to in a fight, yeah, but just do the things what is effective to defeat the opponent. Yeah, I think that was the big mistake.
And then finally, as champion, you now have everyone chasing you. Everyone wants to reach you and fight you. Glover tweeted, "How about a rematch?" Jan, we saw you and Jan talking after the fight. You have Anthony Smith and Ankalaev coming up.
Glover, he spoke about the rematch.
He just tweeted, "How about a rematch?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If doesn't matter if it will be Glover or Jan, doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter. For the next fight, I swear I will be another fighter. Not like that. That was not good performance from me.
Then finally, when we saw you and Jan have a little interaction after, what was he saying to you when you left the octagon?
What is he saying me?
Yeah, what was Jan telling you when he was yelling at you?
Jan, he was so brave, and he told me something about our fight. So I share the energy with him. So we will see. We will see. I will be ready, but just give me a little time to repair my face and to realize the mistakes from this fight. Yeah.
Over here.
Say anything. After a fight like that, just how are you feeling physically?
A little bit tired. Because I have to give in the fight 100%. Yeah, not just to do to do just beautiful fight, but I had to give in the fight 100%, and I'm glad for that. I'm glad for that. That fight was tough, and it was not easy.
And it was one of the greatest fights of the year, one of the greatest fights in light heavyweight title history. When that's happening and it's unfolding, do you realize that you're involved in an all-time fight, or is it something you can't understand until maybe a while from now when you watch it back?
One more time, please. What do you mean?
People are saying that was one of the greatest fights ever, or at least in light heavyweight history. When you're doing it and you're fighting him like that, do you understand or do you realize how great of a fight it is?
No, it was from my side. From my side, it was horrible fight, horrible performance. Yeah, honestly, you saw that fight. I was just some moments. I just survived some moments. Yeah, and my plan, not plan. Fuck, it's not plan. That's my stand, my life stand, to be dominant in the fight. Yeah, and not be just survivor in that. To be the hunter. Yeah,
Does
and
it-
that will be my next. That will be my next fight, and I will show that I don't want to fight like that. It's tough. It's full of blood, and it's not beautiful. No, maybe for you it's beautiful. You like to be entertained, but for a fighter, I like to fight clean. Yeah.
Does it give you more confidence though, knowing that you can say you fought horrible, but you're sitting up there, the winner, with the belt in front of you? Does that give you more confidence going forward that you can think you fought horrible, but you still won?
Yeah, sure, but most important is I know where was the mistakes, where I did the mistake in my preparation, in my life, and what I have to change to the next fight.
And there was that moment in the 5th round where he seemed like he hurt you, and then he jumped for the guillotine. How hurt were you in that moment? And it seemed like a lot of people think that was a big mistake by him.
What you mean? Which moment?
In the 5th round, when he jumped for the guillotine.
He had a guillotine?
No, he tried to, and then he slipped off after he had seemingly hurt you.
I don't remember that.
Fair enough.
Sorry, but I just from these moments are for me just a little. But I know I was in a good position. I know I was in a good position, and he left me to take his neck, and he have a big he have a big head with the big bones, yeah, on the chin. So I use that like for against him, yeah.
And last,
you have to take what the moment gave you right now, yeah. And that was he had a free neck, so I took that.
And last for me, how long do you think it's going to take you to recover from this? And ideally, when do you think we could see you fight again? This year, or maybe not till next year?
I think this year. I think I want to fight. I want to fight this year, but not in the next month. I have to repair a little bit my face. Yeah, let's go.
Congrats, son.
Over here. Congratulations, Jiri. In the 5th round, what were you thinking of? Did you think that Glover was leading? What were your thoughts in those seconds before you were able to slip that submission?
Yeah, I thought about his. I did not not enough to end him, and man, I strike him and I shoot him a lot, but he was still on the legs, and I have to work on that on my punches to be more deadly, yeah, and before the 5th round, I thought about I have to end it. Because man, I can still believe it because it was very tough fight. Yeah, but sometimes it's like that. You have to do whatever.
Thank you.
Yuri, in the first round when Glover got mount and was giving you ground and pound, were you talking to him?
When?
When he was giving you ground and pound, when he was
Yeah.
what were you saying to him?
I talk with him. I said him, very nice, but still nothing. I wanted to show him his ground and pound. He have no power to end me in that, but but he have the power enough to open me. And that was more. That was very bad. That was very bad, and it was right after I started to smile him. I started to smile, and then he opened my eye, my eyebrow, and I said myself, okay, it's not time for fun more.
Do you usually talk to your opponents, or was it something special about Glover in that situation that made you want to do that?
Oh, when I see when I see if he have my attention, yeah, if I have his focus, so I like to talk with him. I like to talk with him to play these like how to say mind games, yeah, to show him he have nothing in his hands, to take his power and reverse it. Yeah.
When Jan spoke to you after the fight, was he being aggressive or was he being friendly, Jan Blachowicz?
It was a little bit friendly and a little bit aggressive after I said him, yes, okay, let's go, you're the next. He started to be aggressive, like, because he saw the cameras and all these things. I think he tried to flex a little bit.
Did you blow him a kiss?
Huh?
Did you blow him a kiss afterwards?
What?
Did you blow him a kiss? I thought I saw on the camera that you sort of made a kiss at him.
Yeah, I hear the kids. No,
Oh.
no, I said him, I love you. I love you, because he was so aggressive. Yeah, first he was smiling to me, everything, and it was good. And after the fight, he was aggressive. I want to fight. So I said, I love you. Well, I love you, Jan. Let's talk in a cage like that.
Yuri, when was the hardest moment during this fight?
I think that was the arm triangle. The arm triangle. It was very deep. It was very deep, and I thought about he know how to choke it. He know which moves to do, and he know that very well because he's the jiu-jitsu specialist. Yeah, and so I started to do something more. Then I realized that when I want to win, I have to do everything, something more.
How much was luck on your side during this fight?
What do you mean?
How much was luck on your side during this fight? Luck. Szczęście.
Luck, yeah, luck. I'm saying that the luck is every time on your side when you stop thinking and honestly starting doing the thing, but with belief, with a good from your heart, yeah, and that's all about when the luck is on your side.
Thank you.
Hello? Yes, Jiri. You seem critical of your performance, but you did get the belt. You did get the win. Can you talk a little bit about how you will be celebrating this? I know we heard that you want to buy a car and things like that. Can you talk a little bit how you'll be celebrating this performance?
You know, I never imagined that before. But I'm confirmed with my friends. We want to take a boat, some ship, and to celebrate it somewhere on the sea. Yeah, and enjoy the time, because after my last fight with Dominic, I didn't celebrate enough, and I think that was the mistake for the next fight, for the next preparation, because you have to train a lot, fight a lot, and then celebrate a lot, because it's very important part, yeah, because you have to give everything for your celebration to show yourself how important is this, and it is important. I'm looking forward for that.
Awesome. So obviously, Glover is one of the oldest UFC champions, and you're starting your championship reign. Do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as someone as Glover fighting in his 40s? Do you see that career for yourself?
I see myself like I'm somebody who's watching my fights, and I'm realizing my mistakes. And it's if these mistakes and all these things around, it's good for the work on it, I will work on it. That's my motivation. Yeah. Like I said, my highest motivation is the mastery in every kind of my life. And I want to show the clear fight. But in a clear fight, you have to be ready to show the tough war. Doesn't matter. And that's two different things, very different things, but you have to be ready for both.
Awesome. And just one last question. Obviously, you stand out as a fighter from your appearance, the hair, and everything. Can you just explain a little bit the thoughts that go behind it? I think a lot of people maybe see it and just think that this is just something superficial, but I understand for you, it has a connection with your way of life.
Yeah, like I said, like the people who knows me, they know I like the samurai ideas, Bushido moral codex, and if you want to be the champion, you have to wear like that. And this is my, like, how to say, the king's wearing. Yeah. Now I'm the champion, so I have to wear like that. And I knew that I will be before the fight. I believe in that.
Well deserved. Thank you so much.
Jiří, jestli můžu, to zkusím v češtině, a to bude asi jednodušší. Nejdřív gratuluju k výhře.
Děkuji.
Jaký počítáš, že budu vlastně oslavit? Bude to divoký, jako byl ten zápas?
Yes. We had prepared everything. Guns, ships, everything. for celebration.
Uvědomuješ si vlastně, že vlastně je to největší úspěch českého MMA, kterého si dosáhnul? Už tě to jakoby napadlo, nebo už jsi o tom nějak přemýšlel po tom zápase?
Ale, jak jsem říkal, mám v angličtině nebo v češtině? Jo? Okay. Je mi to úplně, ne, není mi to jedno, ale pro mě hlavní to, že prostě vím, co jsem dělal za chyby. Fakt já když v tom člověk sleduje svůj smysl, který do toho dává, co se tam stalo, proč se to stalo, a uvědomuje si to a ví, že to může udělat příště líp a bude to tak prostě to je mnohem cennější než to, že mě mají lidi za někoho, jo? A To je spíš podsta, že můžu lidem ukazovat svoje bojové umění v nejvyšší soutěží světa a získat pás. To je pro mě podsta.
Je ten nový rozměr v tom, že ty jsi vlastně jakoby fanoušci čekají, že budeš vlastně vítězit na KO a teď vlastně vyhrál na submisi. Je to i ten nový rozměr?
Jak jsem říkal, musíš ukázat prostě, že uděláš cokoliv pro to vítězství. Že dáš v oběť cokoliv prostě. I jestli je to v prvním, v druhém, třetím, čtvrtým, nebo v pátém kole po roztrženém ksichtu. Jo, je to fakt, je to jedno.
A poslední otázka. Dokážeš si představit, co to bude znamenat to tvoje vítězství pro český MMA, vlastně jako pro růst, pro popularitu a dál?
To mě řekni ty. Já nevím. Já doufám a věřím, že to bude motivací pro lidi, ale v tom smyslu trénovat prostě pořádněji. Víš, jako nedělat zbytečnosti, nedělat prostě kraviny, nabít víc sebedůvěry prostě. Netrénovat prostě 1 milion hodin nějakým prostě zbytečným způsobem, jak jsem to mnohokrát dělal. Ale trénovat fakt tak, abych se posunoval prostě, abych si uvědomoval chyby, posunoval se, zakomponoval to do svého životního stylu, zvítězil v boji, přímo pod kamerama před tisíci divákama. Tečka.
Děkuji.
Is it me? Yeah. Hi Yuri. What would you think about defending your title against Jan in the Czech Republic?
Doesn't matter where.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I told my friend about you a long time ago. I've got a few friends in the Czech Republic, and they only know about hockey over there. But now he's on the phone to me now, asking for tickets to see Prochazka.
Yeah, that's his problem.
Yeah. You like that? Thank you.
I don't care, but it's not on me. The tickets or betting on me or all these things. On me is just to show the best performance, and I will do everything to do that, to show my sharpest weapon, my body.
Congratulations.
There he is, the brand new UFC light heavyweight champion. Casey, you can hit the music. And we'll just soak this all in. Enjoy it. And then we're going to have the post-fight show on the other side of this. So thank you for joining us. Congratulations to the champ, Jiri Prochazka. And we'll see you in a few minutes.